all of your lawmakers, as far as your governors, congressmen, Washington officials. Keep it there, because I ain't gonna go into all those names. How hard do you think it'll be? How hard?
I think that them not to think that this would have been, and guys, we're backdating because we're seeing a lot of problems. When we say civil unrest, we know that this country, as well as other countries historically, have had problems with race,
True.
with laws being made, with land being taken, etc. You have to talk from a cumulative standpoint. And let's talk about 21st century issues is what you want to talk about, civil unrest and the Capitol incident or a coup to try to take over because of people thinking that the election was rigged for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Let's just say it was rigged. Is that still the way you respond?
No.
Do you still try to go in and put a situation in danger to where you go in and attack the homeland of your soil and go about doing that? And a lot of people may not want to talk about these things, acknowledge these things, because then we start talking about parties. Oh, are you a Democrat?
Yeah.
Oh, are you a liberal? Oh, are you a conservative / Republican? No, I'm a citizen.
First.
So the first thing that I think about as a citizen is I think about my family and the safety of my family first.
Yes.
Then I branch out to my city.
Yeah.
I think about the city where I'm from. Then I think about my state. Then I think about the nation. And then I go global.
Yeah.
But in every community, I'm considerate of what's taking place because I know that everything is not going to be at the advantage. I've seen strengths and weaknesses in all parties. I'm willing to have a discussion with anybody about any incident that they want to talk about.
True.
Pro-life, I know a lot of conservatives are big on the pro-life, and that's why they would have problems with Obama and Biden. We know that they have problems with Biden and Obama about same-sex relationships, about them maybe being too considerate of it. So there's a tilt of the scale on issues. Finances, sometimes conservatives feel money is being used in another way. Whereas a lot of Democrats feel the biggest budget is the Department of Defense and other things like education are lacking where a lot of our kids not being educated, but while the jail systems are filled at capacity for things that are end up being legal like marijuana. But we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things to talk about. But these are the subjects that we're talking about are not popular or not what people think about because they don't think that it applies to them. The number one concept in a capitalist economy is let me just get my own and get my money and then everything else takes care of itself.
True. Darwin's theory. Strong of the strong.
Strong of the strong.
That's it.
But I'm huge on Maslow's hierarchy where you're going to have some essential needs. So the civil unrest that we're talking about is that just yesterday, not yesterday, this morning, there was an officer that was killed near the Pentagon by somebody near a bus stop. I don't know if people have heard about that.
Okay.
Officer was killed on duty. And so it was defense. Let's see. We go back to the very beginning of the statement. A Pentagon police officer has died after he was attacked outside the Pentagon Metro entrance Tuesday morning, officials say. The officer who was stabbed multiple times in the neck fired on the assailant after the stabbing began, but it's not clear whether the officer or another one was hit during the assailant with gunfire, said officials familiar with the matter. The assailant was killed.
Okay.
Right? Let's date back before that. There was a black man named Noah Green who ended up running his car into a barricade, who was a student who finished playing college football and was a graduate, but was upset with COVID and the job economy and was having trouble finding a job. You said he might have been being used as a model and trying to make a statement. Because when you go back and look at the social media and different things like that, he was actually a pretty good person. He followed the Muslim faith. Understanding that, let me just explain this to people. You got radicals in every profession of whatever you do.
True.
There's a radical, extreme. There is a mid-level. And then there's a passive level. Right? And then there's a level that just, minds its own. And we call that, I bet that would probably be more considered passive, right?
Yeah, that's passive.
Okay, so those things are important to know. But the point of it is, Noah Green was a guy who ended up losing his life.
Okay.
Before Noah Green lost his life, then you had the Capitol riot that took place January 6th. The reason why I'm bringing up all these incidents are because there is a consistency now with a lot of things that are taking place in our nation that have no cause and effect.
True. They're
They're
trying to
just
find
random.
out. They don't know what the motive is.
They don't know the motive.
Or they do know the motive and they won't tell you.
Right.
Yeah. Because it'll do something as what we call national security.
Okay.
Because it's going to alert the minds. And once it alerts the minds, then it's a possibility it can create pandemonium.
Right.
Pandemonium is an example of people gathering together and saying, I do not like what you got going on right